So you probably sent about 20 proposals by now and still crickets. And that was me too. When I started freelancing many years ago, I sent about 33 proposals to close my first client. But recently I decided to take on one more client for the month. So I went on UpWork and sent 3 proposals. Got a reply after 2 days and got on a call the next day. Did a $50 test job and closed the client. And this is what changed for me. Now, there are 3 quests every beginner freelancer should do in order to close their first client on UpWork, especially if you have 0 reviews. And in this video, I'll guide you in each one. Now, let's begin your quest. Now, before we talk strategy, let's make sure that you got the basics covered. So if you're applying to freelance jobs, you need these 2 things, and you can't start applying without these. First is you need a clear freelance offer. You need to exactly know what kind of freelance services that you're offering. It could be social media management, email marketing, or Facebook ads, whatever it is and who it's for. But if you're still figuring it out, that's okay. So I have a video right here that could help you. It breaks it down step by step, and you'll find the video down in the description below. And not only that, you need to prepare a skill document. And this document is very important for what I'm about to tell you later on in this video. And the second thing that you need is a simple portfolio. But what if you've never had a paying client before? So I talked about this in my previous video before. And if this is your first rodeo, try to create at least 1 to 2 samples. So pick a problem that you know how to solve and walk that client through your entire process. And even though you don't have a client yet, you're showing potential clients your thought process. You're showing potential clients how you think and what your entire thought process is. And this is exactly how I landed my first client back when I was still starting out. So I didn't have any work experience, but my portfolio had everything on there that shows clients how I work and what my thought process is. So like, let's say the job post is about Facebook media buying. So in my portfolio, I'll walk them through. This is how I determine the offer, and I think this offer works because of ... Next, I will do these creatives because ... This doesn't need to be fancy at all, but it needs to show that you know what you're doing. This is because the moment the potential clients looks at your proposal, they are thinking, how can you solve my problem? So make sure you're laying it out on them. And I'll show you a super easy way to do this later on in this video, so make sure to stick around. Now let's get going with the quests. Quest 1, choose the jobs wisely, aka the jobs that you're applying for. Now this is super important because not all jobs on UpWork are worth applying for. Plus the connects, the thing that you are using to apply for is very expensive. And that's why you need to be super selective about the jobs that you are applying for. When I was starting out many years ago, I thought that applying to many jobs increases my chances of getting hired. Well, that may be true many years ago, but not now because connects are insanely expensive. What actually works now is applying to jobs that align with your skill set. In my case, I have a nursing degree, that's 1, so I can definitely understand medical jargons. So jobs that I applied at that time was about healthcare related type of job. So I started applying for medical transcriptionists. However, that job no longer exists because of AI. But if I started again today, like let's say I just graduated, fresh out of college, graduated nursing, had my clinicals, and let's say after 3.5 years, I decided to quit and do a career change to start freelancing. So I do this. 1, again, is I have my nursing degree. 2, I understand medical jargons. And 3 is this is where you need to assess your skill sets and also do a market research to see what's in demand. But if I don't have that specific skill set, what I do first is to learn the foundations through a course. And there's plenty of courses out there, paid or free. So if you are tight on budget, free is the way to go. So in my case, I had a background for graphic design, and I also taught myself video editing. Then I took foundational courses on digital marketing, learned its foundations, and improved from there. 4th is I determined my offer, my target audience, my target clients. So I help healthcare professionals or health and wellness brands with their marketing, ... So really sit down on this one. So on UpWork, I apply to jobs that are healthcare related and it's within my skill set. This way, you're able to filter out jobs that align with your skill set and increases your chances of getting hired. And this is because you are the right fit. And when you're applying, here's what I avoid. 1 is job posts that are super vague. 2 is client with no verified payment, of course. 3 is job proposals that already have 20 to 50 applicants already. Unless I have a strong feeling that I am the right fit for the job and they should hire me. I tried that before. There are 50 applicants. I thought that, oh, this aligns with my skill set. So I went ahead and wrote the proposal and I got hired. So even with 20 to 50 proposals on that job description, just go for it only if you strongly feel that you are the right fit. So that is your first quest. Choose your job wisely. Quest number 2, craft a tailored proposal. So you found a job worth applying to. Now it's time to write a proposal that gets you noticed. But before we get into that, let's touch on this is where a lot of freelancers mess up. And I have been on both sides. I have gone through UpWork to look for someone to help me with the thing that I'm having issues with. I also help my clients sift through freelancers from UpWork and me, of course, like applying for jobs on UpWork. So I've seen what it's like in the client's point of view. And here's what freelancers mess up on. One is they send something too generic or too stiff, or they copy paste the same proposal from one job to another job. And the proposal is about them and their qualifications. Or what's worse is it has AI written all over it without even going through it and personalizing it, which using AI isn't a bad thing, but I'll show you later on how to use it properly. But if you want replies, your proposal needs to be tailored to the T, like you wrote it for that specific client. And no, it doesn't have to be long because clients are super busy. They don't have time to go through each and every proposal. Heck, when I was actually helping my client before, I didn't have time to go through them as well, so I just skimmed through them and shortlisted freelancers who only wrote a proposal that's tailored to our needs. Now, Dea has explained this perfectly in her video right here, and it's a similar format that I do with mine. I will leave the link to her video in the description below. And in a bit, I will show you a super easy, very efficient way to write proposals that are tailored to your client's needs. But I like to add a cherry on top of the proposal cake. Additionally, what I like to do is, well, I don't do this for every job post that I apply for, but I only do this for the job post that I really want to get hired for. Or if I think my skill set is something that they're looking for. Like I do this and I guarantee that 90% of the time they reply. What I do is I send them a video walkthrough. Sending video walkthrough is one of my superpowers. This is because I totally hate meetings. And the only way to avoid many meetings is to communicate properly. So instead of hopping on a call to get my point across, I just loom my clients a simple walkthrough. Similarly, you can also do this when applying. However, when you're applying, do not send the exact Loom URL because UpWork prohibits this. A way around this is to download that Loom video and then upload that Loom video in a Google Drive and use that link to send to your clients. Or you can do that on Canva as well. Upload it on Canva and send the URL to the client. But what do you say in that video walkthrough though? So sometimes clients leave their business name in the job post. Like for example, ABC Dental is looking for a Facebook media buyer. And what I do is I look them up on Google, find their company, and look through their ad campaigns in Meta Library. And then I identify the gaps, and then you can communicate that gap in your video and tell them how you can help them. And 90% of the time, they reply and get on a call with me. So in the beginning, this could be super intimidating to do, but you can practice. And you can choose whether to include this or not. It's totally up to you, but it adds a great icing on the cake. Quest number 3, handle replies like a pro. Okay, so you wake up the next morning, you check your inbox, and boom, there it is. The potential client replied. Now what? It is super important to respond within the first 24 hours. Not just in the first message, but the second, the third, etc. When my client and I were recruiting, we had applicants send us proposals. Then we asked them follow-up questions and then crickets. Never heard back. Or we heard back, and that was like 2 weeks after the fact. One of the applicants said, and I will never forget this, 2 weeks later, he was like, is this job still available? Sorry, I had to finish a project, but I'm available right now. Don't do that. It just simply shows that you are unserious and untrustworthy, and you're just wasting a client's time. So bottom line is, religiously check your emails from replies from the client. Now, if they want to hop on a call, say yes. Even if it's just a discovery call. That conversation can make all the difference. And sometimes they'll even say, let's do a trial project. Cool, go for it. Just check if it's paid or unpaid. And does it actually lead to potential contract? If it's paid, even if it's just $25 to $50, that's good. It's enough to get your foot in the door. And that is literally how I landed my recent client. They paid me $50 to test, liked the work, and we locked on the full project. And one thing I don't do anymore, I don't lower my rates just to close a deal. Sometimes. I know it's tempting, but if you're starting out, I guess that's okay. And that's it. If you want help crafting your proposals faster, try the custom GPT I built for this. You will find it in the link below. It is totally free, and I'll see you in the next video.